What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, aka Benny P, with another Minecraft video. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be talking about this baby right behind us, which is a super simple, easy to build villager breeder. So basically what happens here is these guys are trapped in this little box, and they have their workstations above them, and then we have this dispenser that dispenses out bread. And for some reason, it is dispensing out a lot of bread. Let's see here. No, the bread's just filtering in from the top. I loaded in bread from this chest, so you can put a ton of bread in here, and you can put a ton in this item hopper. And what happens is this gets pushed down. So this observer gets pushed down and makes a fast clock that pushes this block up that shoots out exactly 3 items. So this is actually could be an AFK villager breeder. So what you could do is you could add like an etho hopper clock or something that activates this piston every, like, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, 2 or 3 minutes. And then just spits out tons of babies. And all it has to do is activate once. It will push down this for the exact amount of time it should. It may be different because I'm using a button, so that's timed a certain way. But there's definitely a way where you can make it to where this happens every 3 or 4 minutes or whatever. However you want to do that. But yeah, or you could just use it manually like I do here and press the button. And then these guys, you'll see hearts above their heads, and eventually we will see a baby pop out of here and immediately fall. We should see that any moment now. And there we go. Now we have our baby, and we can push this guy off into our holding area. And we have a dispenser here with minecarts. If we press this button, you will see a minecart is dispensed, grabs the baby, and pushes him to the end of the line. And you can put these babies in a trading hall or iron farm or wherever you need to move them. Just make sure you move them at least 80 blocks away from this dispenser if you want them in a new village. So, 80 blocks away from this this breeder if you want them in a new village. So make sure you at least put them 80 blocks away when you start your new village. And you just want to place down a new bed for each of these guys 80 blocks away, and they will be able to create their own new village, and you can continue breeding. You don't need this many beds. You only need at least 3 beds to get 1 baby, and then 1 additional bed for every baby that you have in the system. So this would allow you to do a lot more than just 2 villagers for now. So let me fix the weather real quick. All right, so let's talk about how to build this. Now, when I build this, it may or may not work because I'm going to try to build it right next to this one. You should be able to have multiple breeding pairs, but we will see here in a second. So basically what we want to do is we want to start off by putting a block down anywhere you want to start building. Just make sure you have a pretty good size. I believe this is 6 by 6. Just make sure you have a pretty good sized area. I believe this is a 6 by 6 build, kind of. A little bit further if you want to build on the automatic food dispenser part. So let's start off with a 6 by 6 area. We're going to need a building block. I'm not going to give you the specific blocks that you will need for this farm, but it should be pretty self-explanatory. And if anyone down in the comments wants to add a comment to let everyone know exactly the amount of blocks you're going to need. So what you're going to do first is you're going to make a 5 by 6 platform. So we'll start it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we want to go 2 this way and 2 this way. And now we can complete that little platform there. And then what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to go right on this block and go up by 2, just like I do here, and then 1 more there, and that should be 3 high. Now you can get rid of these temporary blocks just like so. grab your buttons. You're definitely going to want to put buttons here to make sure that the villager gets flushed out correctly. And buttons on every piece of that right there. Now, grab yourself some glass, and you can start at this level. That's just a temporary piece. And what you're going to want to do is go ahead and go around in a circle and make a big 2-high area around wall around this here farm. So go ahead and do that. All right, there's our 2-high wall. Now grab yourself a water bucket. I need to grab one myself. So water bucket. And then in this corner, you see there's 1 block here, and then diagonally from this, there's 2 blocks that way. So in this corner, 2 high, go ahead and place a piece of water, and you should see it run all the way to the edge. Now what we can do is we can put in our collection part. So what we want to do is on this block right here, we're going to actually extend this out a little bit. So put a solid block there, and then a solid block here. Get rid of that piece of glass, and then another solid block, and then you're going to start towering back up right here like I do on screen. And you should have something that looks like this. Now you want to encapsulate this area so your villagers won't be able to escape. So do something like that, and that should be perfect. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now you know your baby villagers will never be able to escape from there. And then you're going to need a powered rail, so grab yourself a powered rail like so, and place your powered rail right here, and then grab yourself some regular rails, and you're going to place your regular rails here, here, and then I would put your dispenser on this block. So go ahead and grab a dispenser. Let's see. We will use a dispenser here, and you just want to put your dispenser right here, and then this regular rail on top of that dispenser, and then now you should be able to continue this way as far as you want with your rail line. Doesn't matter where you stop, but that should look like what you have now. And then you can go ahead and add a button to the side of this, and then you can load it up with rails. And when you press this button, with mine carts, and when you press that button, the minecart will spit out and it will get down to here. Now what we want to do is we just want to grab a lever. Let's see where we have it placed over here. I think we have it placed on the side. Nope, right there on the bottom. So you can just grab a lever like I do here. One lever, and then place your lever right here, and you can flick that on. You can always leave that lever on. You could use a different way to ply over this block, but for now that'll work. And that is pretty much your collection system done. I think we do need one more piece of glass on top of this to make sure that your guys can't jump on top of there and get out. So definitely need that. Those blocks aren't needed. You can leave them there if you like. And then that looks good. Let me get back to daytime here. All right, so I think we're safe to go ahead and move on to the next part, which is our kind of area for our breeder villagers. So what you're going to want to do is go up by 2 and then make a ring all the way around this 2x2 area, just like I do on screen. And one more in from that. And that should be good. And you may even want to add some light sources into this. So if you want to, you could just put light sources on the front and back like I do, and get rid of these temporary blocks. And you should end up with something that looks like this. So now you're kind of ready to load your villagers in, but before you do that, I would put in a dropper here. So we're going to use a dropper to drop our bread into our villagers, just like so. Place it just like that. Move this in one more block. And then now your dropper will drop in the bread that gets dispensed. So now what we want to do is we want to cap this off after we put in our villagers. So the best way to do this is you can run some kind of rail line up to this. And then drop your guys in with the rail line. You could do something like that, and then put a row line in, and drop your guys straight in here, and then you can break the minecart whenever you're ready to place them. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys real quick how to load this. So if we grab a minecart here, like so, and then one of our villager eggs, then we can pop this piece off right here. We can put our minecart there and our villager right there, throw him in, and then he should fall straight directly down. And there's our first villager. Now we can do the same thing again for our next villager. So just throw a villager in there. And you may have to push them around a little bit, but that's okay. And then they both fall in just like so. Now we can get rid of these minecarts and your villagers are in place. That is perfect. Okay. Now we can get rid of all these temporary blocks. Don't need those anymore. And what I would suggest now is getting a workstation for these guys. So grab yourself a barrel or whatever kind of workstation you want to use. I'm just using a barrel right now. So what you will want to do is put a temporary block here and here, and then you can throw a couple barrels on top of their heads and they should pick up those. There we go. Now they're fishermen, and we can get rid of these temporary blocks, and that looks perfect. All right, so now you can add a button onto the back of your food dispenser, and you can just press that button 3 times to drop in food. Of course, we need to load this with bread, so let's go ahead and do that. So you don't have to do this next part, the automatic food dispenser, if you don't want to. It's just fine if you want to just load this up with bread and press the button 3 times to give them 3 pieces of bread, which is what they need to breed. So we will go ahead and fill this up here. And then what I would suggest now is go ahead and grab some beds too. And if you're building this for the first time, you don't have that one over there. Right now we have enough beds, but to give us the right amount of beds, you at least want to put 2 beds down for those breeders, and then 1 more for each additional baby that you want to breed. So that looks good. Now we probably need to add in some mine carts. So let's go ahead and grab our mine carts and add those into this dispenser down here. So we'll go with 5 for now. That's fine. And then we will throw those straight into this dispenser. And now you'll see when we press this button, the minecart goes up and down until an entity is inside of it. So until one of those baby villagers get put inside, it will just continue to do that. So now we have our bread in here, and you can press this button 1, 2, 3 times, and that should get them going. Sometimes when you're first using this villager breeder, like when it's the first pair, I would go ahead and put 6 in there just to kind of speed up the process. And I'm not sure whether or not these guys will breed. They should. Even though there's a village right here, they should be able to breed still. So let's give them a minute and see if they will start breeding. All right, as you can see the hearts coming up, and they will start to breed. And then here, any minute, we should see a baby pop in, and then he will fall straight into that minecart and get pushed up. There he goes into the minecart, and the minecart gets pushed on top of the system. And they're going to go ahead and make another baby because we gave them 6 bread instead of just 3. So they should make 2 babies, and that's what they're doing right now. So we probably want to just go ahead and add another minecart here so that baby can go into that minecart. And there we go. Boom. Villager breeder done. Now, again, this next part, we're about to do an automatic food dispenser, and you do not have to do this. If you want to stop at this point in this video, that's totally fine. This is a totally working breeder, and this next part is just kind of a nice to have. So if you don't want to spend the time to build this, then totally fair, but it will make it a little easier to get the exact right amount of food to these guys to make sure that they breed. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's push these guys down so they don't sit there anymore. So basically, this is a pretty simple circuit. The way this circuit works is it has a repeater extender on it. And what that does is when this gets pushed down, it's going to flicker like maybe 5 or 6 times. but this is going to allow it to only activate this dropper 3 times. And that's what we want, because we only want to push out 3 pieces of food, not 6 pieces of food. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this button. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves some building blocks and some repeaters. And then we want to come off one more here with a repeater, just like so. And I believe these are all set to, well, not all of them. Okay, so 2 of them are set to 1 tick, or 0 ticks, and 2 are set to 1 tick. So this one's set to 0 ticks, and then now we can place in a block right here that one is running into, and then we can place another block here with another repeater. This one was on 2 ticks, or 1 tick, excuse me, just like so. And now we can place a block in front of that one, just like so, and then another repeater to this side, just like so. And then this one was also on 1 tick, I believe, and then we can put in a solid block in front of that one. And one more right here to the bottom of this, and then we can run a repeater just like that. And they should be on these exact timings as I show right here on my screen. No ticks, no ticks, 1 tick, 1 tick. Now what we need to do is we need to make a power source that runs into this that will activate this when that block gets pushed up. So basically what we want to do is put a temporary block there. We can get rid of that for now. And then place another block here, a repeater there, no ticks, and then a redstone torch. And you'll see that that will make all of these light up just like that. And that's perfectly fine. Now what we want to do is we want to have a sticky piston, and we want to place a sticky piston directly under this block. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to get rid of this block for now. And then we're going to put a solid block right there. And then we are going to then get out a couple of repeaters. So then where our repeaters are going to go, we're going to put one right in front of here, just like so. Sorry, other way around. So we'll put a temporary block here, block there. And then we can place in our repeater right here, just like that. And then we're going to place a repeater on top of this block with the redstone place that way. And then what we want to do is we want to get a sticky piston directly on top of this repeater, like so. And then you can just place a button on top of there. And then that is pretty much the whole system done, I believe. So, actually, we did this wrong. We need to move this piston down 1. Actually, this whole system needs to be moved down 1. Sorry. So let's do this. We want to make sure that the sticky piston is here, and then our block is here, and we want to move this whole system down 1 as well. So again, put a temporary block here, and then your observer facing this way, and then on top of that temporary block we can put an observer facing this way. Sorry, the other way. Facing this way. Nope, I was right the first time. Facing this way. And then put your sticky piston right on top of that, just like so. And then your button on top of that. You can see they're already breeding because we have been accidentally like triggering this. So that's totally fine. They bred a baby because we gave them at least 3 bred during that process. So that's totally cool. You can build this before you build up your breeder, so they don't continue to breed like that. If you'd like to build this section first, I just wanted to do it last because I wanted to let you guys know that it is not needed. It's totally up to you guys if this is something you want to do. So now let's look in this dropper and let's see how many we have. So we have all of these. So let's go ahead and take yourself a screenshot or look at this, and we should only see 3 of these get removed. So if I press this button, you can see that happens 3 times, and there were 61 in each of these slots, and now there's 60 in each of these slots. So you can see that 3 bed were pushed out, and then immediately our breeders start breeding. So that is pretty cool. That is your auto system done. Now you could extend this down with some redstone and put your button down here somewhere if you like. However you would like to do that, but for now, for ease of use, I just put it up here because I'm in creative and I can fly around, so it's super easy for me to use it there. But that is your breeder all the way done, guys. That's all there is to it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this helps you guys. It's a super simple, easy breeder, and you can use this without the auto part, and it's even easier to build. And you guys just go ahead and build this on your world, and I promise you it will be very simple to set up, and you guys will get it done in no time. So hopefully this helps you guys. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss a video from me, aka Benny P, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!